Hello friends, myself Dr. Nidhi Darbari in my education treasure. Today in my present video I am going to explain the model lesson plan of teaching history. First of all, you have to write the general information, which is also called marginal entries or preliminaries, which includes lesson plan number, name of the school, date, class and section, period, subject and topic, and lastly duration of the period. Therefore, I have written lesson plan number as 1. After that, the name of the school is to be written, and so I have written the name Girls High School. After that, in date, I have written 24/3/25. In class, I have written 9, and in section, I have written C. The period in which I will be teaching is third, so I have written third. I am going to teach the subject history, so I have written history, and the topic I will be teaching is Mauryan Empire. The duration of my period is 40 minutes, so I have written 40 minutes. After you have written the preliminaries, you have to write the general aims. I have written about 14 general aims in my plan for students' convenience. The student teacher should write only 5 general aims suitable to the topic you are going to teach. The general aims should be put down after writing all these things. These general aims are almost the same in all the lessons. The aim of teaching history is to achieve these aims or objectives. They are given below: to create interest in students on facts of social and political events occurring in the country, to develop the ability to take decisions logically on social, political, and economic matters, to enable students to develop the power of using the acquired knowledge in unexpected situations, to prepare students to participate in collective social events, to train the students to remain disciplined in family and society by obeying rules and regulations, to develop the abilities of analysis, synthesis, reasoning, etc., to provide fundamental skills and processes for proper understanding of the subject matter, to enable the child to solve history problems in daily life, to stimulate spirit of study, investigation and invention, to bring an all-round and harmonious development of the personality of the child, to develop in the child the habits of concentration, self-relation and new innovation works, to encourage them to read the life stories of great experts of history, to develop in the child the habit of purposive, creative, productive and simple living, to develop the skills to use the modern social devices like computer, etc., to create a suitable type of discipline in the minds of the child. I have written all the aims of teaching history for pupil teacher's convenience, but the pupil teacher have to write any 5 aims most suitable to the topic in his or her lesson plan he or she is going to teach. After you have written the general aims of teaching history, you have to write the specific aim of teaching. The specific aim of teaching the topic should be only one suitable to the topic you are planning to teach. My topic is Mauryan Empire, so my specific aim of teaching today is to make the students aware of Indian history by giving them the knowledge of Mauryan Empire. After you have finished with the specific aim, the next is the method of teaching. According to the topic Mauryan Empire, my method of teaching is lecture method and explanation. After this, in the technique of teaching, I have written question answer technique. The next heading is teaching aid, in which you have to write the teaching aid which you will be using. I have decided to make a chart depicting the three main rulers of Mauryan dynasty and the map of Mauryan India. Next heading is previous knowledge, in which I have written that the students are aware of ancient history of India who ruled India before Mauryas. Now we come to the introduction. I have prepared 5 questions which are very simple, related to each other based on the previous knowledge. The last question should be problematic, which the students may answer or they may not answer. I have prepared my first question: how many cities were there in Jahan Janpads? The answer of which is there were 16 cities in Mahajanpad. The next question is: in the end, which state emerged out of the 16 cities? The students will answer: in the end, Magad emerged out of 16 cities. The third question is: name the first dynasty which was established in Magad. The students will answer that firstly, Haryak dynasty was established in Magad state. The next question which the teacher will ask is: name the last dynasty of Magad. The student will answer that the last dynasty of Magad was the Nanda dynasty, and the last question will be: after the Nanda dynasty, which dynasty was established? The students will answer that after the Nanda dynasty, Mauryan dynasty was established. If the students answer this problematic question, their teacher will proceed to the statement of aim, saying, yes, today we will be studying the topic on Mauryan dynasty. If the students are unable to answer this question, the teacher will himself or herself give the answer and proceed to the statement of aim. The next is the statement of aim, which is necessary because psychologically the student should have a clear-cut objective before him so that he can strive to achieve that aim. Therefore, the teacher should clearly tell the students that they are going to study the topic Mauryan Empire. Today I am going to study about the Mauryan Empire. Now we come to the presentation. For the sake of convenience, the plan is divided into 2 units. First, we start with the first unit. I have divided the plan into 4 columns. In the first column, I have written the subject matter. The second column is for teacher's activity. The third column is for student activity, and in the last or fourth column, blackboard summary will be written. In the subject matter column, I have written the subject matter which I have taken, that is Mauryan Empire. In the teacher activity column, I have written the teacher's statement, which is as follows. The Mauryan Empire was established by Chandragupta Maurya around 322 BC. He took advantage of the decline of the weakness of Nandas. He overthrew the last rule of the Nanda dynasty, Dhananand, with the help of Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, and crowned himself as the emperor. According to Brahminical traditions, he was born of a Shudra woman in the Nanda court. But as per the Buddhist tradition, a Kshatriya clan called Mauryas existed in Gorakhpur region. The capital city of the Mauryan Empire was Patliputra, that is present-day Patna. After this, one developing question will be asked. Name the famous rulers of Mauryan dynasty. The students will answer Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar and Ashok. Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar and Ashok were the famous rulers who took the glory of the Mauryan Empire to peak. The students will listen to the teacher patiently. The topic Maurya Empire will be written on the blackboard, and the main points will also be written. After this, one developing question will be asked. Who was the teacher of Chandragupta Maurya? The students will answer that Chanakya was the teacher of Chandragupta Maurya. Then the teacher will give the statement again that the political unity was achieved for the first time in the Indian history under the Mauryan reign. He brought a vast region under the Mauryan Empire, which included Bihar, Orissa, and Bengal, along with the north and northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and parts of northeast were the only parts that were not under the Mauryan rule. Chandragupta was an autocrat who kept all the powers in his hand. The empire is known for his exceptional creativity in field of literature, art, architecture, and inscriptions. The most striking feature of his administration was the maintenance of a huge army. According to Pliny, a Roman writer, Chandragupta had 6 lakh soldiers, 30,000 cavalry, and 9,000 elephants. Chandragupta took the Diksha of Jain religion and left the throne in favor of his son and left for heavenly abode in 298 BC at Shravanbelgola. After this, the comprehensive question of the first unit will be asked. The teacher will ask the first question, name the capital of Mauryan Empire. Students will answer that Patliputra, present Patna, was the capital of Mauryan Empire. The next question is when was the Mauryan Empire established? Nikita will answer that Mauryan Empire was established in 322 BC. The next question will be who was the founder of Mauryan Empire? Juhi will answer that Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of Mauryan Empire. The fourth question the teacher will ask is the name the kingdom which were not under the Mauryan. Kavita will answer Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Northeast were not under the Mauryan Empire. And then the last question which the teacher will ask, of which religion did Chandragupta Maurya take the Diksha in his last moments? Pallavi will answer that Chandragupta took the Diksha of Jain religion in his last moments of life. The teacher should write the answers of all the questions on the blackboard and ask the students to note them down in their copies. Now we come to the second unit. I have divided the plan again into 4 columns. In the first column, I have written the subject matter. The second column is for teacher activity. The third column is for student activity. And in the last column, blackboard summary will be mentioned. In the subject matter column, I have written the content which I have taken, that is Bindusara and Ashok. In the teacher activity, I have written the teacher statement which is as follows. Bindusara. Chandragupta was succeeded by his son Bindusara. Greeks called him by names as Amitragat, Amitrochatus and Elytrochatus, which means clear of enemies. Bindusar extended his empire as far as south. 16 states were brought under the empire by him, thereby conquering the Indian peninsula. Other than the southern states, the only kingdom which was not under the control of Bindusara was Kaling. Kautilya continued as Prime Minister during the period. The teacher will ask one developing questions: with whom had his reign important for the continued links? The student will answer that his reign was important for the continued links with Greeks. The next subheading is Ashoka. Ashoka, the greatest ruler of Mauryan Empire, was son of Bindusar and he succeeded to the throne after his father. He was the first ruler who took messages to the people through his inscriptions. After his accession to the throne, the Kaling War was the only war that he fought. As he was moved by the massacre of the Kaling War, he gave up the idea of conquest by war and followed conquest by dharma. The next developing question which the teacher will ask is, where did King Ashok send missionaries? The students will answer that King Ashok sent missionaries to South India, Sri Lanka, Burma, and other countries. The great ruler of ancient India was Ashok, who was known for his missionaries. He brought further unification in the European Empire by one dharma, one language, and one script. His policy was a broad concept which covered the way of life, code of conduct, and set of principles that people should adopt in their daily life. His rock and pillar edicts distributed across the empire serve as historical records of his governance. The lion capital of Ashoka, which is the national emblem of India, belongs to this era. The Mauryan administration, centralized and organized, divided the empire into provinces governed by viceroys. Now we come to the comprehension questions of the second unit. The first question teacher will ask is, by which name did the Greeks called Bindusar? The students will answer that Greeks called Bindusar by the names as Amitragat, Amitrochates, and Erytrochates, which means slayer of enemies. The second question the teacher will ask is, who was the prime minister during the tenure of Bindusar? The students will answer that Chanakya was the prime minister during the tenure of Bindusar. The third comprehensive question will be, apart from southern states, which other state was not under the control of Bindusar? The students will answer, apart from the southern states, Kalinga state was not under the control of Bindusar. The next question will be, which war was the biggest war of Ashoka's time? The students will answer that Kaling war was the biggest war of Ashoka's time. The last question, where and when was Buddhist council held in Ashoka's reign? The students will answer that in Patliputra, the third Buddhist council was held in Ashoka's reign. A note is there that the pupil teacher will write the answers of all the comprehension questions on the blackboard and ask the students to note them down in their copies. Now we come to the recapitulation. I have prepared 5 questions based on Unit 1 and Unit 2. The answers of these questions should be written in short in the lesson plan. This is essential so that the supervisor who enters the class will know the correct answer and there is no confusion. I have prepared my first question as, what was the capital of Mauryan Empire? The answer of which is Patliputra, present day Patna. The second question is, name the kingdoms which were not under the Mauryan Empire. The answer of which is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Northeastern. The third question which I have framed is, of which religion did Chandragupta Maurya take the Diksha in his last moments in 298 BC? The answer of which took the Diksha in his last moment in 298 BC of Jain Dharma. The next question is, who was the Prime Minister during the tenure of Bindusar? The answer of which is Chanakya. And the last question is, where and when was the Buddhist council held in Ashok's reign? The answer of which is in Patliputra, the third Buddhist council. Now we will come to the classwork. Here, pupil teacher should prepare 5 fill in the blanks or match the columns or true and false or multiple choice questions based on the content taught. Here I have prepared 5 fill in the blanks, the answer of which I have written in bracket like the lion capital of Ashoka, which is dash of India, belongs to this era. the answer of which is national emblem. The second one is the last ruler of modern dynasty was dash, the answer of which is Brihadrath. Third, Greeks called him by the names dash, which means slayer of enemies, the answer of which is Amitragat, Amitrochatus, and Alithrochatus. Fourth one is his dash was a broad concept which covered the ways of life, code of conduct, and set of principles that people should adopt in their daily life, the answer of which is policy of Dham. The next one is he brought further dash in the Mauryan Empire by one dharma, one language, and one script, the answer of which is unification. These should be written on the roller board and taken in class, which will save the time of the teacher in class. The pupil teacher should not write the answer on the roller board. She should call the students one by one and ask them to write the correct answer. After this, the homework will be written. I have given the homework to write in short note on Ashok. Thank you very much for patiently watching the video and don't forget to subscribe.